Hola a todos amigos de Spanish Boost. ¿Cómo estás? ¿Siempre bien? Bien. I swear to God, Martin from Spanish Boost Gaming has infected my psyche. Like, that dude is just in there. I swear to God, one day I'm gonna wake up in a horror dream. I'm not gonna wake up. I'm gonna be in a horror dream in a dark alley, and I'm just gonna hear whispers from the shadow as I hear something like, hijo de puta, as it just slowly comes towards me, and I'll be like, oh shit, it's finally fucking happening. But yes, that's not what we're here for. We're not here to talk about my tortured psyche. We're here to talk about my update on my Spanish progress. As you can see, we are 400 hours in. So let's look at what I did for the last month. And as you can see, if you look at this and you pause and you break down the numbers, you're going to notice that I missed quite a few days here. And then also at the beginning, I was doing 3 hours per day. But since then, I've been doing roughly 2 hours per day, at least when I'm actually doing the goddamn content. And that is all due to the fact that my life has gone to shit as of recently. Because my company, about a month ago or so, they basically ordered everyone who was working from home into the office. So what I was doing from home, I now do in the office, and nothing else has changed except for the fact that now I've got to travel several hours to get to work, both to work and then back from work each day. And that has been, impacting on pretty much everything that I do out there. So I've pulled back to 2 hours. Now, I know a bunch of you are going to be like, why don't you just listen to podcasts while you're traveling? That sounds like an excellent idea. No, I'm not at that level in Spanish yet where I can just listen to shit and pick up new words and phrases and structures and stuff. I still need to be able to see the content, see it in action, and associate the words visually to what's happening. So I feel like maybe when I hit 500 hours or 600 hours, I can possibly do that. But at the moment, I feel like the best progress is still made when I actually watch content, and I don't want to be clocking up hours that aren't actually of value to me, type of thing. So, next thing I want to talk about is what I've done and what I've learned during this month. Now, obviously, normally what I would do is I would list out, at each hour what I managed to do. The problem is, for the last 50 hours, there's nothing like that, like an epiphany that popped out for me, and I was like, that's what I learned during this time frame or during this day or something. At the moment, it's more like someone's got a bucket of Spanish above me with a bunch of little holes in it, and it's just like dribbling all over me type of thing. So I'm picking up little bits and pieces here and there. Like, I'm not picking up like entire new parts of the language. It's not just opening up to me. It's more like I'm just getting little bits and pieces of everything at the moment, which kind of annoying because I can't really, go into detail about what I've learned. But there is at least one thing that I picked up during the last month, and that happened during crosstalk. Now, the reason why I went and did crosstalk is because in my previous video, I've had people in the comment section always saying, Evil D, you got to do crosstalk or you're not doing ALG, which is weird because, it's not required according to the roadmap. Highly recommended in some places, but on the roadmap page itself, crosstalk is mentioned once, and it's mentioned as in, if you like to interact with people, you can choose to do crosstalk. I generally do not like to interact with people, but for the sake of the experiment, I've gone out and I've started doing some crosstalk, and I've done 2 hours so far. I know. A massive amount. So what is my thoughts on crosstalk based on the 2 hours I've done? Well, first up, the 2 hours I did were with Martin from Spanish Boost Gaming. He's excellent, by the way. You know what? I'll drop some content of us talking together right now, right here. Boom!
Hablando de eso, ¿el cine en Australia es caro?
Yeah, it can be pretty expensive, so generally it's like 25 Australian dollars, which is the cost of a full meal. But there is ways to get it cheaper. The expensive thing is buying food at the cinemas. So at the cinemas, they don't let you bring in outside food. You have to buy food there. And if you buy anything there, you're going to pay like 4 times as much.
Es lo mismo en Argentina. Es una scam absoluta.
Yeah, totally.
You know?
In fact, do you know the Japanese film The Ring?
Sí.
Okay, yeah, well, I told her about this movie. I was like, hey, let's watch this. It's a romance movie. It's called The Ring. And she's like, let's watch it. Sounds great. So I put it on.
Oh my God.
Within 5 minutes, she was punching me, so.
El trauma por siempre, Jesús.
She sees the girl start crawling out of the well, and she's like, this is not romance.
Todo es romántico at all.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I was like, no,
Dios.
it's coming. I wonder if like maybe we could hire some hitman over in Seville or however you say that city's name, you know, if we can finally deal with this guy.
Total, eso sería épico.
Yeah.
Pero ya, no hay problema.
As you can see, we're really getting down into the weeds of it. We're practicing together. I find it interesting because obviously I can have a conversation with him speaking Spanish, me speaking English, but at the same time, I'm a person who seeks for efficiency, and I would prefer if I was speaking Spanish, because then I feel like I'm maximizing the time at the moment. But it is what it is. I'm following the method. I will do it in the way that, you know, people want me to do it type of thing in order to test out the method as it's stated. So, that's right. I was going to say something and then like my brain circuit just blew a freaking casket. 1 second. I just need to grab a drink. Okay, so what happened was during the 2 hours, I feel like I did pick up some more words than I did during a standard 1 hour. So I'd say 1 hour crosstalk's probably equal to 2 hours of normal, you know, watching videos type of thing. You do get more out of it. But at the same time, obviously it's harder to organize and all that type of stuff. So if you can go do it and you want to follow this method, you'd probably make better progress, you know, doing it just via crosstalk overall than just doing it by, you know, watching content. But also it's not really realistic to do this all the time type of thing. So I've enjoyed it. I did get some value out of it. I will continue doing it into the future, but realistically, you know, over 1,500 hours, I'm going to be able to do 100 hours of crosstalk, which would equal to about 200 hours of just normal listening to content. So I'm not sure if it is the magic key that everyone's talking about, unless they're talking about doing just it in order to speed up the progress. So that's my experience with crosstalk. Now, what I did pick up during this month is the conditional. I've noticed that the conditional uses C, which is the same as yes. So, which is really strange. Like, I should have picked this up a long time ago, but I realized why I didn't. Because in Esperanto, the conditional is se. But in Spanish, se, from my understanding of the language, based on, you know, everything I've absorbed so far, is like a to be verb or something like that. I'm not too sure on that. So when I hear si, I was just associating that with yes. And I'm guessing a ton of the time where I thought I understood something, I actually didn't understand it. I don't know why I grabbed this, opened it, and then closed it. But yeah, it's like, that's another problem. You think you understand something with this, and often when you go back and you rewatch it after you've made a lot of progress, you realize you didn't actually understand it correctly. And I've actually seen people on Reddit comment about this when they've been reviewing me watching videos where they're like, oh, he's actually saying that wrong. He's not translating that correctly. So I don't think he's as advanced as he is. And that's actually concerning to me because you think you understand what they're saying. And that means you're associating it badly in your mind. Okay. So there's a possibility. It reminds me of when I started on this journey and I associated the word jaw or jaw with the name of someone for like the first few hours because I thought it was someone just introducing themselves as jaw, you know, but it turned out that was actually the pronoun for I. So I feel like that is a big concern with this method is that you often associate things wrong and that can be embarrassing overall, especially when you're on like the internet and you're translating, you think you're doing it right and people are pointing out you're actually doing it wrong. So yeah. Okay, another thing is a bunch of you were like, okay, why are you watching these videos where you're struggling to understand? You're not doing this right. You should be watching stuff where you understand 90% already. But guys, you got to remember when I make these videos, I was stretching myself to show you my absolute max capability at the time of making that video. That is not what I watch every day. Okay, so I want to stress this. What I normally watch is stuff where I basically understand almost everything already. But for those videos, I wanted to stretch myself and say, hey, you know, at this time, you might be able to understand this. But I've started to realize that you guys are associating that wrong with what I'm actually doing. What I'm actually doing is watching content I understand. Now, I'm going to give you a demo of stuff that I understand so you can see where I'm actually at. So first, we're going to go watch some beginner videos, okay? And, oh, by the way, I've got this set to Agostina. Let me just close this stuff out. Because I'm working towards a, Argentinian accent. I'm thinking I actually want to develop an Argentinian accent because I listened to Martin from Spanish Boost Gaming, and therefore I'm listening to her a lot more because, I don't know, I just kind of like the Shaw sound. I find it to be a nice sounding accent overall. I enjoy it, so I'm gonna probably learn that. Sorry, Andres. But like, yeah, like I feel like that's the accent that I want to work towards, and therefore, in order to work towards that accent, I'm primarily going to listen to content that comes from just that accent. That's what I'm going to do pretty much moving forward. Now, additionally, a bunch of you guys also asked me, what's my plan once I reach the 1,500 hours? Because remember, when I set out on this journey, I was testing a methodology, not necessarily setting out to learn Spanish, although that's kind of necessary for the journey, I guess. I figured it out, guys. We know what we're doing. Okay, so what we're going to do is when I reach 1,500 hours, I'm going to launch a YouTube channel that's called Better Spanish Boost Gaming, and I'm going to play the exact same videos that Martin from Spanish Boost Gaming plays, make CI videos, except I'm just going to do it better, because all he does is run around and just go, hijo de puta, hijo de puta, hijo de puta, something de miedo, bastardo, you know, these types of things. That's all he does. He just runs around swearing a lot, and I feel like there's a lot more value that could be made from his videos. So I feel like I'll launch my channel. Obviously, everyone's going to see me speaking Spanish and go, oh my god, he's so fucking amazing. And he's way better looking than Martin. So they're all going to unsub to him, come to me, and then Martin's going to come crawling to me, and he's going to be like, Evil Deer, please don't take my subs. And I'll be like, join the Evil Deer cartel. We'll work together. We'll join forces, you know, via marriage or something. And then we'll take down Dreaming Spanish. We'll launch our own version of Dreaming Spanish. Anyway, that's the long-term plans. Thought I'd just share that with you guys. So let's go check out some beginner videos. Oh, okay, shit, I'm not on the beginner's level, so let's go back to beginner. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to pick a random beginner video of hers. Where's one that I could pick? Let's just go with this video right here. Okay, let's just jump somewhere.
De la otra, hay muchas placas.
So there's like many plates.
Y debajo de las placas hay tensión.
And under the plates is tension.
Está tenso,
It's
tenso.
Tense.
La tensión se libera.
And the
Se
tension
libera.
is released.
Y cuando la tensión se libera, hay un terremoto.
And when the tension
La
is released, there's
tierra
an earthquake.
vibra.
So the earth
Generalmente,
vibrates.
normalmente, la tensión se libera.
And the tension is just released generally. Anyway, so we'll just jump to another part in the video. I'm just showing you a beginner video to show you that I am actually past the beginner level, guys. Okay.
Por el tiempo, cuánto tiempo duran y la magnitud. La magnitud.
So for how long it goes for, the time frame, the duration, and the magnitude. So obviously, you probably don't even really need to know Spanish to pick this one up, so this is probably a bad example. But anyway, let's go to the intermediate videos now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to jump to intermediate, and then we're going to go difficulty range. We're going to put it around here. These videos are kind of like hit and miss for me. These ones are like more within my range. I haven't finished watching this one, but I don't kind of want to watch this while here, so let's just pick something random. I'm just going to scroll down. Yeah, we're not going to watch this because that's probably not safe for YouTube. Is there anything in here? Let's have a look. What could be good and interesting? Least favorite US cities as an Argentinian. Okay, high school in Argentina. Yeah, that sounds interesting. Let's go with that.
Pero tal vez ellos querían estudiar ciencias naturales o ciencias sociales
So she's talking about, you know, science, like natural science, social science.
y no podían porque solo había economía.
But could only, I guess, choose or take economics.
Para mí ese es un problema
For me, this is a problem
de la educación secundaria en Argentina.
of the secondary education system in Argentina.
Pero bueno, ahora vamos a hablar de las notas, de cómo funciona, de los exámenes.
So now she wants to talk about the notas, and I'm guessing notas is like something to do with exams, because that's literally what she said next.
En Argentina nosotros tenemos clases desde marzo aproximadamente hasta noviembre o diciembre.
So you take classes, from March to November.
Y el año escolar, el año en la escuela, se divide en 3 trimestres.
So the year within school is broken up into 3 trimesters.
3 trimestres. Como el nombre lo dice, son 3 meses.
And she's just saying, as the name says, 3 months
En cada uno.
in each section.
Entonces tenés marzo, abril, mayo.
And now she's just listing out the months, March, April, January, February, March, April, May. Like, I'm terrible with, like, the months.
Primer trimestre.
And that's the first trimester. So you can see that. I'll just jump a little bit to a different section.
Más o menos, en arte y 30 en economía.
So something in art and then 30. So that's... I know it's 3 something. I've just lost the numbers. And I think it was art or something she was saying.
Y ya está. Entonces, las escuelas son chicas, nosotros conocemos a todos nuestros compañeros.
So she was saying it was with the girls. I gotta listen to that again, 1 second.
Entonces, las escuelas son chicas.
So the school is there are girls.
Nosotros conocemos a todos nuestros compañeros.
And I knew all the other classmates.
A todos nuestros profesores.
All the teachers.
Y es muy personalizado.
And it's really personalized, I guess.
Es como que no somos un número.
So I'm not like a number.
No somos como un estudiante más.
I'm not just, one more student more. Anyway, so that's the intermediate level. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to jump over to this series on Patreon from Martin from Spanish Boost Gaming. We're just going to watch a random video from it, and you'll notice that this is advanced. So his advanced videos, overall, I'm pretty good with them, like when he's talking. So I feel like with Martin, his advanced ones are mainly just intermediate level, but speaking like natural speed or a lot faster. So I enjoy them. But I can't do advanced videos on Dreaming Spanish. Sorry, I almost choked. So we'll just pick this here.
Gente. Perdón.
People. Achoo. I'm sorry.
Quería estornudar. Espero no haberlos molestado. Esto también lo puedo romper. Más sandías.
So, sorry, I fucking totally forgot I gotta be translating. Okay, so I just started watching his content like I normally do. Okay, he's picking up watermelons. He was saying, more watermelons.
Soy el hombre sandía ahora. Antes era el hombre papa. Ahora soy el hombre sandía.
So previously I was like a person, like I was the potato person. Now I am the watermelon person.
Creo que no hay nada más, gente.
I don't think there will be anything more.
Me voy directamente a mi nave.
So I now want to go directly to my... I don't know what Navi is.
Mi barco, a mi balsa.
To his boat, yeah.
¿Qué es esto? Una
What is this?
piña. Perfecto.
Ooh, pineapples.
En Argentina, hermano, hijo de puta, toma.
This is what I mean. Hijo de puta, toma. So he's like, you bastard. And he's like, I'll chuck this at it.
Yo lo intenté.
Sure le intente. I don't know what intente means. Okay, well that's pretty much it. I hope you guys have enjoyed this content because I've just noticed my battery's going low. So I'll see you all in the next video. Remember, if you hear hijo de puta in your dreams, you know who it is. It's Evil Deer.